All set, everyone. Let's get into now ISO history and the ISO 27001. ISO, the word came from ISIS. The word came from ISIS. Equality. It is International Organization for Standardization. Today, there are 163 countries who take part in development of each standard. Is that okay? Now, each country size is small or big. You will have one vote. Is that clear? If some country proposes some standard, maybe related, example, cloud security, cloud service management, or something related to the organization health and safety, or maybe something for the business continuity, best practices, addition or changes to that, 27,000, any of these standards, they can certainly, or they can propose new standards, new areas as well. Is that okay? Country, I said. And each country will have somebody, okay, to present their views. Is that clear? That's how it works. Now, what we are more interested about here is ISO 27, which is Information Security Management System Standard, and ISO 27001 has the requirements for information security, cyber security, and data privacy. So they are covering three aspects of the overall security: information security, cyber security, and privacy aspects. They are covering. And they have introduced the standard in 2022 October. October 2022, the standard is released. Officially, the standard is released. Is that clear? Now, to get into that basics, ISO, IEC, International Organization for Standardization, and IEC, International Electrotechnical Commission. This is a joint committee of what? JP, okay? Committee of what? This ISO, IEC, all standards. IEC, International Electrotechnical Commission, was initially more focused on electrical and electronic, okay, equipment standardization and the practices. Is that clear? They merged together, they formed in 1947. Now today, 163 plus countries who takes part in development of standard. As of now, they have developed, and some of the standards have actually, they have removed. Okay, old versions, they have absolute. Total, there are now 23,000 plus standards that they have developed so far. Okay, they have developed 23,000 plus standards. Now, ISO standards are divided into 4 categories. One is overview and vocabulary. 2 is the generic requirements, that is generic requirements. And then you have the generic guidelines. And last one is sector specific guidelines. I'll come back on that in a while. I repeat, I'll come back on that in a while. The first one we said, the overview and vocabulary. You can see ISO 27,000, where all definitions, terms, as well as what is ISMS, how ISMS is beneficial, benefits, then what is related to risk management. Some of these definitions, practices related to the 27,000 is available, knowledge or the information is available in that side. 20,000 for service management, 9,000 for quality, 2,300 for business control. So each standard or generic standard specific, you will find the overview and vocabulary. For business continuity, there is overview vocabulary. For quality management, there is overview vocabulary. What we said, that organization cannot get certified on these standards. Is that clear? This is overview and vocabulary. Yes, understanding. What is there? What we have used as a terms, definitions. That's an overview. You cannot get certified. Because the only reason, remember, there are no generic requirements defined. Is that clear? There are no requirements defined. Simple definition. Is that clear? Wherever there are requirements defined, organization can get certified on that standard. That's the simplest understanding. You can keep it with you. Similar to that, I have given a lot of examples here where one signifies the requirement. And I'll show you one of that. We will be getting into the standard ISO 27001, where there are international standard requirements. Now, question comes up, what are the requirements? And that's what we are going to learn today, tomorrow. Okay. Now, there are some more standards, what I said, guiding standards. These standards you can follow, but these are best practices only. There are no requirements. Like ISO 31000, risk management, which is used for enterprise risk management. 21500 for project management. There are various such standards are available, and that is only for a guidance perspective. For our interest, we will be using 19011 standard as well, which is an auditing guide to, of course, conduct audit on any management system. That means any of these certifications organizations going for, auditor will be using the guiding standard. Auditing guiding standard will be using this. Is that clear? We will come back. What do you mean by and what do you have as a part of 19011 standard? When you are going to conduct ISO 27001 standard audit, you will be referring this 19011 standard. Clear? Now, third day, we will be opening the standard for a discussion. I will show you the standard and give you the understanding in a while. Now, let us move forward. This is what is as of now understanding that you have, where ISO 27000 is an overview vocabulary, 27001 where you have international standard requirements certified. That organization has to fulfill that, which is out of which 4 to 10 clauses forms a framework. Organization cannot exclude the requirements defined in the standard where 4 to 10. ISO 27002, the code of practice for implementing ISMS controls. At the time of implementing these clauses, organization perform risk assessment. The result of risk assessment, you will have controls. Of course, you will have result of risk assessment. There are certain risks to mitigate that controls. These controls are defined in 27002. I will take a simple example. Risk is related if you do not have, for example, information security policy. Then what is the risk? You will have a loss threat. Of course, maybe information is going out in the market, or business loss, your organization reputation loss, many risks are there. So to mitigate that risk, we implement information security policy. Is that okay? We implement information security policy.
Even Magesh, we can say the risk is every organization works towards to achieve the objective. Something stop them to achieve the objectives is a risk, right? We can conclude in such a way.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. I am not sure everyone can understand what you said about the information security objectives. Okay. And I will certainly bring you everyone with examples of information security objectives. Is that okay, Satya?
Okay.
You are right. Now, not only that, we have in 4.1 and 4.2. Okay. This is very essential, where there are internal external issues, and the 4.2, their stakeholders and their requirements. and what requirements can be achieved. This way, based on this, we are going to perform the risk assessment. Now we need to understand what do you mean by issues and stakeholders and their requirements. And then we'll come to the objectives part. Is that okay, Satya?
Yeah.
All set. Now, quickly, framework, what you have, structured approach towards achieving certain goal. Now, this frameworks, organization can adopt. I repeat, organization can adopt. However, no auditor will come and audit these frameworks and give you certification. The organization is certified for ITIL. Organization is certified PMP. Organization is certified on CISA. That will not happen. That is an individual. However, the best practices organization can certainly adopt towards achieving IT service management practices goal or project management or for the professional scrum master with respect to agile, SIAM for service integration management. Like this, there are various frameworks are there in industry. Individuals can get certified on this. Is that clear? However, when it comes to standard, this is a widely accepted practice where there is one signifies, we said some time back, the requirements. And this is a guiding standard, right? There are generic guidelines where individuals can get certified, organized. When organization, in this case, there are international standard requirements that will be tested by certification body which you will select, and after this you will get organization will get certified conditionally. I said now conditionally. Each certification is valid for 3 years only. Organization certification is valid for 3 years. First year full audit, second year surveillance audit, and third year surveillance audit. What do you mean by this? We will be coming back in a while. Okay. Now, let us get into an understanding about what is this ecosystem of the overall ISO. Is that okay? Now, there are accreditation bodies across the world. Okay. Of course, maybe you can see 20 years, 30 years back. Okay. ISO was not so popular that everybody is using. Okay. But, and that too, the regional barriers were there, conveyance issues were there. So all that. Okay. So you can see here the accreditation bodies formed like Dutch accreditation services. Okay. For Europe. Australia, sorry, the ANSI. You are saying that, I am not. Okay. American National Standard Institute. This is for USA. Okay. Australia and New Zealand Accreditation Board and UK Accreditation Services. So you have various accreditation bodies, including now there is a IAS, International Accreditation Services. Like this, there are various accreditation bodies. However, they have formed called as now International Accreditation Forum. Now the members out of these are representative of that IAF. Now this basics are not very clear. You may straightforward get into classes, controls, audit, but if you want to see, validate any organization certification, you will have to go to IAF website. How will you validate whether the organization is certified or not? To go to IAF site. Moving forward, these accreditation bodies approve certification. Is that okay? And there are various certification bodies are there. Organization can choose to go to either TUV or you may go to PECP. That there is no restriction to the organization where to go. Is that clear? There is no restriction. You may go ahead and select BVQI or DNV or PECP. That is absolutely organization call. Or Organization client may come up and say that you should get PECB certified. You don't have a choice. Next, individuals similarly also have a choice to go with any of them. I'm certified with this. I'm certified with this. I'm also certified with one of the certification body, rather two more certification bodies, because that is my role as a trainer. So I may get training for this or this. For individuals who are become the auditor and performing audit activities for your organization, you relate, that does not matter to you, because each of these certifications are globally valid, because these certification bodies are accredited by accredited body. You do not need to worry about it. And there are various specific certifications they have to maintain to approve you as you are individual that's certified and you are globally, that is valid. So that is also, they maintain that. So on that note, I will move ahead. I'll clear. We will be going ahead with TU suit. We'll be going ahead TU suit. Okay. Now the pricing, okay, for examination certification. These certification body dictate. For PECB, they charge only for exam 850 USD. So that is their call. So is there any difference in the certification and the content? No. Content are same. How can you change ISO 27001? ISO 27001 we cannot change. ISO 27002 we cannot change. 19011 we cannot change. 27,000 we cannot change. What's the difference? We're going to use this only. So material is the same. Okay? So do not worry about it at all. Now, we said that audit frequency, as a professional, you should understand ISO 27001 certification for organization is valid for 3 years conditionally. Now, first year example, hear me out. Okay, first year you have a full audit. Full audit does mean organization define the scope. Okay, I repeat, organization define the scope and certification body thoroughly test that scope as a part of phase 1 and phase 2, as a part of phase 1 and phase 2. And once the organization is certified, I repeat, organization is certified, okay, you will have within 1 year time frame. I said within 1 year time, you will have to get the surveillance audit completed. That means in general, have a look at this. It was April 2022. Ideally should have been April 2023. Yes or no? Ideally, within 1 year. But you will not have a time. Last minute, no audit can be performed. It will become a blunder. If this expires, this is not conducted within 1 year, you cannot have a backdated certificate date in this IAF. Is that clear? Certification body cannot do that. If they try to do something like this, their certification is, they are blacklisted from the IAF. Hence, you have to be very, very careful that you have to complete the surveillance audit well within the timeline of 1 year. This is third year. I never said that. Correct. I said within 1 year. First,
31st March, April. Within 1 year only the surveillance audit has to be
correct. Correct. 100% right. Every year. Okay. First year full audit. Second year surveillance audit. Third year also surveillance audit. What did I say? Your ISO certification is valid for 3 years conditionally. What is condition? each year, next subsequent 2 years, you have to get surveillance audit completed. Is that clear? Everyone? Vikal?
Yes, sir. So, sir, if the second audit is done in March, then the third audit would have to be completed till February or till March only.
See, ideally, what I said, okay, for example, a organization, okay, is first year they got full audit done in April 2020. So they are certified in April 2020. What we said from that period, April 2022 to April 23, your certification is valid. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
However, when you say that you have audit has to be completed within that 1 year, no organization will wait that April to arrive. Yes or no?
True, very true.
If auditors are not available or audit members are not available, your organization is stuck up in some major projects, business initiative. So your efforts of whatever you did is lapse. You got my point?
Yes, sir.
You do not have a choice. They will have to again get into full audit.
True.
They'll have to go again full audit. You have no choice. Because you cannot have a backdated entry here. Very simple. You can't do that. If that happens, this certification body status cancelled. And they will not take a toll of such things, such non-conformity or non-compliance for them. It will become a big challenge for them. They cannot do that. Okay. So nobody get into that, all that discussion. Now, the fourth year, I repeat, fourth year, have a look at here. You will have a recertification audit. Again, that is recertification audit. Is that okay? This is a full audit. Every fourth year, you will have a full audit.
So, sir, as per the example in 2024, again, this will be done in the month of March, like till the March, the auditors should be there.
Yes. What is the question? Can you come bit
Yes, sir.
be louder?
Sir, like, still, I'm not able to, I guess. Sir, in 2024, I
Hmm.
guess, so till Feb 2024, the third audit should have been done, right?
Ideally.
Okay.
Ideally.
So,
Is that okay?
if that is done in Feb, but still the certificate has a validity till April 2024,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely right. I
Okay.
agree with that. I agree with that.
And in the
But
first
in general,
audit,
what happens, my dear? In general, what happens is that, so this, although the validity is for 3 years, okay? But in practical, this is 33 to 34 months only. Is that clear?
yes, yes, yes.
You can't do that. That's a challenge with the auditing practices and all. That's a practical challenge. You cannot do anything for it.
So it's like 11th month something.
You
like
can
that.
start today. No, so there is no financial year link. Zero meaning. Zero meaning. Today. I said today. You are certified from today to 3 years. That's it. Release that, because this is out of experience, financial year and all these. Has I said unlearn. I said from today. If you get, as you get certified, that day onwards, 3 years, you will not have any rule of financial year and all of it. Because I hope your questions were answered. Anything that you want to
Yes, sir.
reconfirm?
Yes, sir. Could you please explain, like in the first audit, both the phase 1 and phase 2 audit would be done, right?
Correct.
Could you just explain a bit more about the first audit?
Sure.
Else everything is simple.
Sure. We'll come to the audit part of and we'll have a more discussion. park your query and answer immediately with one liner. Surveillance audit, the overall scope is mutually agreed between certification body and auditee. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now, what is that mutually agreed? What is the scope? You will learn that. Is that okay? Vikal? Are you there, Vikal?
Yes, yes.
I hope you heard it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
what is there as a part of scope and how it is considered? We'll come back. For sure,
Okay.
we have a lot more because we have not learned anything related to audit, definition, terminology, principle. We have a lot many things to learn before that. Now, this is something which is like, you will see funny. I said you are a part of lead auditor certification body. Yes or no? You cannot have, you will be as a lead auditor, you will be a lead auditor for various organizations audits. Yes or no? Clear? Somewhere you have a surveillance audit or somewhere you have a full audit. Is that clear? So you will also have to plan the entire audit calendar. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You have to plan. You cannot be like, oh, on the fly. That has no meaning. Okay? That has really no meaning. Is that okay? It will become a blunder. Okay? Now, coming back to the discussion, what we have, okay, is, I hope you are able to hear me, right? Vikal?
I guess there is a glitch in the voice.
Am I audible?
Yes, better.
Yes, sir.
1 second. As like you have a certification body and the auditors are there with the certification body auditor, you will have to have a plan for all your clients that you have to be careful. And I will be bringing you in that discussion next week. Okay. Now, you have in general today you can see ISO. There are 3,000 plus organizations get certified annually on ISO 27. That's one of the huge number. It's a huge number. Now, when you get certified, it is very obvious. When you get certified, it is very obvious that you will have basically the full audit, surveillance audit, and 2 years of surveillance and recertification. One client is added for several years. You're getting it? And that is the reason you will have many auditors requirement is there. That is one reason. Two, you are specialized in bank and risk management. But bank, will you be able to perform the audit of network, servers, applications, various business applications? That's a big question. You're getting my point? So there are technical experts are also required who are certified lead auditors. You have a huge requirement of auditors in the world. More and more that I'm answering, I'm going back to your first question. Yeah? Why ISO 27000 is more popular. Yeah. Now you do not have a choice because you have today across the world, you have actually seen that the world has adopted.
Can you hear me?
I will repeat. The world has adopted technology. Can you hear me now?
Your voice is
My voice is what?
we can hear you, but your voice is in and out. In and out.
I'll have a quick recap what I said. There are annually 3,000 plus organizations getting certified. And there are existing organizations who are also certified. We learned that ISO or 27001 or any of the standards are valid for 3 years conditionally. First year full audit, second year surveillance, and third year surveillance audit. Also, each industry is different. If I am an auditor who specialized, for example, in IT, cloud services, AWS, but I do not have specialization on Azure or GCP or IBM platform, I cannot conduct the audit. What will I be able to do that? I'll be able to conduct the generic audit. I will not be able to conduct the system specific audit. And and one important point, what Satya she has highlighted, that why do we conduct the audit is basically there are some organization objectives that are supposed to be evaluated or tested. And that is the reason why primarily we conduct the audit. And if organization objectives are not supposed to be tested, you cannot do that. How can you conduct the audit? So hence, there are ample opportunities are available in every industry and every technology domain as a technical experts. Not only technology, but various other areas like in risk management. Risk management in bank is different than in telecom company. And same applies to the government organizations or the airlines. So you have risk different. So there also you have an opportunity. So there are n number. So every industry, every vertical, every technology domain, every various different. I'll use the technology. Does mean like example SAP, Salesforce, AWS, Azure. Okay, maybe someone who specializes in service management, project management, security in project management. So you have significant opportunities as an auditor, and as well as today that as we are delivering services across the world, every organization, every country, we are trying to gain the business out of it. So we have to have specialized auditor. Okay, maybe in legal firms. Okay, you have to have auditors who are there as well. That's how. Okay, thank you. We'll move out. Now, this is changed. Okay, we have 10 clauses, but with respect to this, what we discuss is changed to 4 themes: organization, people, physical, and the technological. Altogether, you have 93 controls. This is removed. Is that okay? Coming back. As I promised you, there are 4 sections or types of certificate. Sorry, the standards. Overview, vocabulary, terminology, specific standard. You have a general requirement standard, specific standard, general guidelines, and sector specific guidelines. I will be asking question to you in between. What are the types of standards? Do not respond to me with saying ISO 27000, 27001, 2. I want this. That means 27,000 is overview vocabulary. General requirements where organization going for the 27,001 certification, they will have to fulfill the requirement. Is that clear? And one of the standard is also there for 27006. There also you have the requirements for whom? Certification body. Is that clear? Certification body should be certified on 27002. Sorry, 27006 to audit any organization. Is that clear? Simple. You are a certification body. Okay, ABC is a certification body. Okay, they cannot conduct any organization audit on 27001 unless they are certified on this. Is that clear? Okay, done. like TUV should, PCB, DNV, BSI, all these certification bodies should be certified on 27006 to test any of the organizations on 27001. Now this is very deep understanding. Is that clear? Everyone? Now, these are where there are the requirements are defined. Now, guidelines 27002 we are going to refer. We are not going to use this, but this is where implementation, how we prepare a business case, project plan, how do we implement processes, policies, okay, how do we conduct internal audit, all as a part of this. How do we select certification body? I will try and cover up many aspects of it, but not our objective is not implementation course. 27004 where measurements like example, any process to measure, you define KPIs, right? When you have implemented ISMS, you have to measure some performance, right? That is measurement. 27005. This was for only for information security risk management. Most of the organization now they are following ISO 31000, which is enterprise risk management. Hence, 27005 is not being asked or in demand. That is the reason you have 31,000 is high end. You and me can also form a certification body. I can give a certificate. You should also can give certificate. Is that okay? But here organization cannot get certificate. Now coming back 27006. No, nothing like that. These are guiding standards. No, there is no certification available for which for this for organization. What is your interest should be for organization. For individuals, iVision can also certify you to conduct a test, and I will also do that. We are a training institute, right? We can also do that, provided we should follow some international best practices. We should get certified on something from some certification body. That's it. We park that. There is no meaning to that.
No, I'm just.
What?
About the 31.
And ER, you have a course available for that.
That is your season.
No. We have a course on ISO 31000
Oh,
available on that. You can certainly individually can go ahead and learn ISO 31000 enterprise risk management. Correct. Yes. I am also certified on that. You are absolutely right. This is for the, of course, professionals, risk management professionals.
Popping up.
Sure, it will. Okay,
That's the reason I was.
no problem.
Oh,
It's fine. Yeah, so that formed, we don't need to get into that. Formed, we don't need to get into that. So we need to look at what is. Is that okay? Now, coming back. The last part of it, what you have a sector specific guidelines. These sector specific guidelines, if your organization is in telecom, banking, non-banking finance, or retail, healthcare, pharma, okay, you have some additional guidelines given. While you are implementing this, organization can go ahead and review that. But we have zero interest in this. Is that clear? We are not learning. I am not here for a corporate training. If you would have been a corporate in banking, okay, then I will talk more on the types of products, the regulations, then the legal aspects of it, the compliance aspects of it. Thank you. Chalo. Now let's get into the advantages of ISO 27001. Now, I'll just will move ahead because considering the time, we will not have that discussion of that. Like, what is this? I will guide you. Generally, I take an exercise on that. We will move out. Drill. Yeah, so this is what I said. Okay, the exercise. I have inadvertently I have opened the slide. So when you are going to read it and tell me there is no point, then we will take some exercise. Tomorrow. Okay, what is that? Yeah, we will. I will. Now, advantages of 27. In general, when you implement 27,001 or any organization implement that, audit part of it, we will come on next week. Okay, we will learn now only implementation part of it. It will help organization to showcase their capabilities. Okay, it is to improve your brand in value. Also, it will help identify the risk in the organization, because everyone has been that means all the departments, that is HR, okay, finance, procurement, IT, admin, and all HR, finance, admin, okay, IT, okay, then information security, internal audit. They may be performing their real good, of course, work with respect to their job roles and responsibilities. But are they really concerned about the information security risk? Information security, cyber security, data privacy. Are they really concerned about it? They need to be, yeah. So when you implement 27,001, you will be bringing them, okay, under one roof and showcasing the importance of this, and they will be identifying the risk associated with their departments and products and services. That will be a great advantage to an organization. So as you will identify what is most important risk management is to define risk criteria and identify the risk. Unless you identify, what are you going to work on? Is everyone clear? Everyone clear? Okay, Satya. I hope you are clear.
Yes, sir. So could you please tell us like what it identifies this?
Your voice is feeble. When you are talking, it is
Okay,
very
now?
feeble. Yeah. Have some water and then your seems to be your right throat.
So like you said, it identifies risk, like it assesses risk. This is also an advantage, right?
None of us are able to hear you. It is better you can type the question if you have a throat issue.
Okay.
Satya? Hey, Siddharth? Any questions so far?
No, sir, it's clear so far.
Fantastic. So we are introducing, okay, what is the advantages of this? What we said with respect to risk, it will help organization to identify the risk. When you know you are able to identify the risk, the organization, as you identify, you will be able to mitigate that risk, control the risk, right? But when you are not able to identify the risk, how will you able to mitigate? Yes, Satya. Satya, go ahead. Satya, go ahead, I said. You are not able to, or you are not audible. You can text that as well. Okay. Vikalp, are you typing?
No, sir. I was just, asking to, continue the sentence. You said something like it identifies risk, and you said something else as well.
Correct. So we will come back on a risk management thoroughly.
Okay.
Okay. We will be coming.
Okay.
Satya, we cannot hear you. Okay. right. As of now, you're on mute, and see if you can unmute and speak. No. All set. You may type it, Satya. I will respond to you. Okay, now move forward. Any question? Sure. Okay. Now, this is like when you implement ISO 27, it will help improving your information security, cyber security, data privacy posture. Okay. When I say posture, that all the entire organization is concerned about the processes, policies that they are following. They are supposed to be more vigilant on information security, cyber security, data privacy practices, which is in general a concern. So these are some of the biggest advantages of 27.1 any organization implement. Okay. Now moving forward, there are some key terms. Okay. I'll quickly move towards or run around with the terms. Okay. And I will take you through that. Now, the terms information. If I may have quick understanding, what you are understanding, what is information?
Information is valuable, which is
Okay.
which is exchange of guarantee of
Okay.
possible identified.
Yeah, that is okay. That is also information. Your type of information you said. Okay.
Then collection.
Again, we are talking about information. Okay. Vikalp, what is information?
I guess anything that is valuable to an organization.
Okay, I have heard you. Okay. Siddharth? No
Hello?
worries. Yeah, go ahead. What is
Yeah.
information?
So information something which can be collected for the purpose of knowledge or to have a clear aspect on the facts.
Sure. All right. Information, everyone, make a simple definition, is a process data. Process data. What is process data? I have incidents coming from HR, finance, procurement. I have incidents coming from IT, various systems, various tools, various processes, various policies. Okay. Can I make any sense out of that? I have a raw data, I said. Will you make any sense out of that raw data? You cannot. What you will do, number of incidents, information security incident from a specific service, specific location, specific department, number of incident I said. So that is a process data. Is that clear? That is information. Is that okay? I have a SLAs. I have various incidents. I have incidents. I have priorities. But I cannot go to each incident and see that I will not have a time. What will I do? I will prepare priority 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is the priority 1 is high priority, medium, low. That is high, medium, low. Priority 1, 2, 3. And priority 4 is the single user incident. Now, if I have such information, then I will be preparing a report based on that priority 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have only raw data, and which all priority incidents like are a club. I cannot make any sense out of it. That's not information. Information security. Now, allowing business to perform their normal activities. What are normal activities? If you are transferring money to one of your friends, account is added or sending through UPI. So ideally, money should go to that person only, A to B. It should not go to C. That is not a normal activity. Is my statement clear? So what is information security? We are protecting the information. Okay. So as business should perform their normal activities, be it banking, be it retail organization, be it telecom, be it pharma, or any type of or legal entities and whatnot. They are supposed to perform their normal. Risk. What is risk? can occur. I said, what is this?
Anything that threatens the security or operations.
Okay.
Device to storage or something that goes through according to plan.
Okay. Fair. Simple definition of a risk. Risk is something might happen. Simplest definition in the world. Something might happen. Might does mean can be positive, can be negative. Is that okay? So what are we concerned about? Negative risk. That is threat. What do you call as negative risk? Is threat. Positive risk is called as opportunity. You make business out of it. Is that okay? Positive risk is you make a business out of it. Is that okay? Example, the water bottle, the cans that we have in front of us. Simplest. Someone who found that, oh, water, the risk is like carrying the large bottles, okay, for a family, for transporting, okay, that if someone stops one person, he cannot carry. The opportunity that is found out of that is that he will make a bottle. That's a business. A risk. There is a positive, there is a negative. Is that okay? Now, when I say negative risk is a threat, that may, what you are saying, that may lose your information and damage to organization. Is that okay? Now, vulnerability. Vulnerability means weakness in the system. What is that? Weakness in the system. Okay. Fantastic, Satya. Appreciate that. Vulnerability is weakness in. Okay. Now, what is attack? Somebody trying to gain unauthorized access to your system. Maybe to exploit the vulnerabilities. May give. Has given. We said dictating. Yes. May give. I'll say may give. Is that okay? Everyone? May give. When I say confidentiality, confidentiality is absolutely. Can access does mean confidentiality. Authorize. You should grant access to authorized use. Integrity.
Typically, message A to message B should travel and it should not break anything. Well, source to destination would be reliable.
So that is, in a way, I agree. Integrity is no unauthorized modification to information. Okay. You have achieved 99.49%, whereas you are supposed to achieve 99.5, and you round figure this. This is integrity breach. Is that okay? Clear? No, no, this is unauthorized, right? Availability.
This should be
Something that is present.
What was that?
Something
Because
that is
availability.
present, something that is present.
Leave your Vikalp, leave your fear and talk loud and
Hello.
confident. Yes, go ahead. Now you tell
Yes.
me.
So I think something that is present or available, that is availability.
Okay, fair enough. Now, availability, information should be available when it is required to authorize personnel. Is that clear? That is available. IT availability, infrastructure availability, server availability, or we can say system, that is application availability, database availability. Okay. No. KPIs and availability. There is a long distance. Huh? Wordings, we can use anything, but availability is information should be available when it is required to whom? To authorized person. Clear? Policy. What is policy? What? You said. Ah, okay. Satya, what is policy? No. Absolutely no worries. Yes, what is policy? Policy is certain set of rules, okay, that is defined for organization. That means employees, okay, vendors, that is suppliers, and as well as clients to follow. That's what we call a set of rules. How to define the policy? Of idea or plan. Okay, I'll come back to that, Satya. Satya, I said set policy set of rules. There are some do's and don'ts that you have, which restricts the employees not to do this, something which will be harmful to organization. Is that clear? Now, I'll come back to with the how to define the policy and how to define the process. When you know this, then only you will be audit. Otherwise, when we talk about ISMS, okay, we said there are requirements defined, and these requirements are in the form of the processes and policies. And I do not know how to define the policy, how to define the process will become a challenge to you as an auditor. Moving forward, we have a procedure. Step-by-step instruction. Process is certain set of activities combined together to deliver specific result. And I'll come back with that explanation in a while. Auditing is organization or a part of organization undergoing the audit. Okay. Auditee member word is individual. Is that clear? Auditee member is an individual. Can be network executive, network manager, server executive, server manager. Okay. Can be L1, L2, L3 person, service desk, service delivery manager. All these are auditee members. Auditor meaning is someone who's going to conduct the audit. I hope everyone is clear on that. There are some more terms and we will be clearing as we go along. Okay, I'll stop on the terms now. There is one more important term for you is governance. When I say governance, there is a concept of evaluate, direct, monitor. Now, governance is to set the fairness and transparency. Okay, fairness and transparency. Setting fairness and transparency is the meaning of governance. What do you mean by that? Then organization defines the policies. That is one of the ways to define the governance. How to achieve the governance? We set up control. How do we set up the control? We define the policies. That's one. Now, coming back. Another meaning of that is organization, for example, start of the year. You have a budget, right? We plan budget, right? Start of the year. Maybe now here I'll come to the calendar. So where you have a, for example, Jan, okay, to December calendar year for organization. You have planned some budget. For what? There are some initiatives, maybe 5 initiatives are approved. Now these initiatives are in line with the business requirement. So what IT will do or information security will understand the business priorities and accordingly propose the initiatives. You have a budget approved. Budget approved. It will be directed to whom? Who will be implementing that? What we call as management. In general, this is like a steering committee. what we have a steering committee. And here management. This management will plan, build, run and monitor the services and produce the report submitted. They will evaluate the performance of the given resources. So this is what is also a meaning of governance. This concept is really popular, okay, and it is important for you to understand. Evaluate the priorities and the needs of the organization, direct it to the management body. Management body will implement that, can be through project management, service management and all, and they will produce the reports. The steering committee reviews the reports, what was given and what is achieved. Yes, I hope. Yeah.
So these all divided and monitored.
Hmm.
These again, I would say maybe these,
You are mapping. I am not. You are mapping. So you can say, of course, this is for the organization to set up the control. Okay. You're overthinking. We'll have to stop that overthinking. It is creating challenge for you. I cannot do that mapping. Which PDCA, PDM, these are two different concepts altogether. If I say that you have a finger and you have a nose, what you are trying to do? You are trying to map finger and nose, which I cannot do that. You got it? There are two different reasons. Nose has different purpose and finger has different purpose. Is that okay? Correct. Yes.
And then what else? They can
PDCA, this, to be honest, PDCA used for improvement.
Yes.
Plan, do, check,
This
act.
is for governance.
This is for governance. This framework is used for governance.
So
Evaluate,
PDCA
direct,
will
monitor.
actually be like, the manager can decide to follow that as a best practice.
Correct. They have their own, for example, you have a project management as a practice, service management as a practice, application development as a practice. Now, what is the objective? Example, you are selecting a supplier. So you may have outsourced services maybe on a cloud-based platform. So this management people. Now, who are those management? This is a generic concept. This applies to HR, IT, information security, internal audit. So everyone it applies to. Is that okay? But if you think that you are in IT, you can take, you are in risk management example. Now, you will work on risk management, right? Now, you can, how will you, of course, ensure the objectives of the organization are achieved related to this, and you will apply governance. You have a risk advisory committee, yes or no? Now, what is their job? Are they working on the on-ground risk? No, they are not. They are only evaluating. Now you got it right. So what they do, they define the policies related to risk management. Yes or no? They understand the business objective, what business services you are going for, what locations you are going for. Yes or no? What are the business services, actual services are. Related to that, they will define the policies. Yes or no? And what you will be doing in management, you have a policies, processes that needs to be adopted, implemented, risk criteria to be defined, risk register will to prepare, review the risk register, and then you will produce the result, you will mitigate the risk, you will take appropriate action, and you may accept, you may avoid, you may transfer, and then whatever actions you have taken, how you have controlled the risk, and you improve the utilization of the resources, right? And then you produce the report. And that the risk advisory committee, which understand that and review that, they will have their own objectives, you have your own objectives. Correct? You can apply in any domain or industry this framework. You did ITL, right? Foundation. Certification? Found B3. B4. ITL 4 has an extensive focus on this. OBIT. also has that. ISACA also has that. CISA, not many of them. These are some of the examples of policies. Okay, I can give a simple example before I get to governance example. This a concept I brought it to you because it is, I thought, really important. Governance, you can see example that you have some organization example. I'll show you some organization structure. Sorry for that. I'll just show you one organization structure. And then, can you see this? Yeah. In this, the governance can be, you have, for example, in IT, you have various different sub-functions and they have a people. Okay. Each one of them will have some roles and responsibilities. Do you agree? Yeah. You have CEO who has some goals, financial year goals, that will be cascaded to his task force. Yes or no? And they will cascade to their, maybe for example, VP here, and below that you have AVP. Okay, below that you have managers or assistant manager. Yes or no? So what is happening here? What we call as goals cascade. Why are you cascading? Because they are supposed to achieve. If they achieve, you will achieve. For that, you will have a review. Yes or no? We call that as appraisal. We call that as appraisal. We call that as appraisal. But we are more interested only about our salary hike. Organization is not interested in your salary hike. Organization is interested in what have you done to achieve the goals defined for you. That is also one set of reviews is called as is a governance that they are setting up. Is that clear? That's also there are a lot of examples.
Like you have just who reduce the work.
Correct. 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 KRAs, word. See, I don't want my student to use any word anywhere. You will fall on face. KRAs, what is that? Write it. What is KRA? Key resultant area. That is what we define. Okay. On that note, I'll move forward, my friends. Okay. Considering that we have learned good points so far, policies. However, note there are a lot of policies related to HR, IT, admin, security, procurement. There are various policies. Now, what we should be interested, okay, organization. That of course, as of now, I'm talking from an auditee point of view. Is that okay? Auditor will learn next week. We will not get into auditor point of view. Is that clear? Everyone, I hope you are in sync with me so far. Vikalp, Siddharth, are you in sync?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, Satya? All set. Thank you. Now, the policy is what we have, my friends. Okay, thank you, Satya. These are some of the examples of the policies. Is that okay? However, not necessary all these policies are there in organization, or this is maybe very less policies are there. There may be hundreds of policies in a large organization. Is that statement clear? So for that, as an auditor, I'll come back to the part of auditor now. As an auditor, my job is not to get into all that what are these policies and all. What I should be focused on, scope, under which all these departments are there and their policies applicable to information security management system framework that I am interested. If procurement is not a part of the organization they have implemented, is a scope. So it is very obvious. It is very obvious. We will not be testing any of these policies under the procurement department or maybe finance or maybe legal department. Is that clear? So we'll come back to the part of scope. These policies simply defined are for yourself. You should understand there are policies defined in each department under the organization, and what is the scope of that. Now coming back, how to define this policy? Anyone can tell me the structure of policy? Okay, I have heard you. Structure. For every policy, there should be a single structure. Yes or no? I'll take a simplest example for all of you to understand that. Is it okay? I'll take a simplest example for all of you to understand that. What's the see this? Don't go on my drawing, okay? Okay. Is that okay? Now there are leaves, okay, and there is a fruit, or there is flower. Each tree has roots, stem, branches. You have leaves, fruit, or flower. Is that okay? Yes or no? Now, can you eat neem tree? Neem fruit, okay, considering mango? No, right? It look like this. That what do you mean by this? What am I trying and teaching you here? That each tree has its own purpose. Yes or no? But each tree has the same structure. Tell me that mango tree or banyan tree has a different structure. Come on, that's a joke. The same thing that you have to fit in your mind, that my policy, whether it is recruitment related policy, or it is backup related policy, or a clean desk policy, or a access management, access control policy, structure should be same. Is my statement clear, everyone? Everyone, is my statement clear?
Yes.
Structure should be same. And I am here focusing on stressing more on structure. Is that clear? You should be absolutely clear. And here is the structure. Each policy should have this structure: summary, purpose, objective, scope, roles and responsibility, policy statement. That is, I said do's and don'ts that you have, and a revision history. Now, whether you write revision history first or last, that does not. Most of the mature organization, they define policy interfaces. For example, information security policy is linked with backup policy, internet policy, or the access control policy, password policy. Yes or no? They can define, but why they can define? They can measure. Hence, they can define. Hence, I have marked at the red. In general, if you are a small size organization and you cannot show the interface of one policy with other, then auditor will unnecessarily pull out some non-conformities for you. I hope you are clear. Yes or no? Clear, right? Okay. Thank you. Appreciate. You can apply in a smallest organization, provided will you be able to measure? That is a big question. Yeah, will you be able to showcase the policy interface? For example, I'll ask you, I'm auditor. Hey, you have written the policy interface with respect to the background verification. I would like to see how have you, of course, how this information security policy is applied or integrated with your background verification policy. What will you do? If you're a small organization, you do not have a tool. You have people, somehow they manage background verification. You have not outsourced as well. Fine. So what will I do with file? Question is very simple. We are not talking about background verification. You are deciding in your mind. My question was very simple. How information security policy is linked with background verification policy? If you have written in your process document, policy document, will you be able to showcase? You are proving that you will have to take a day. And I don't have a day. I have only 30 minutes for audit. Then I'll give you 10 non-conformities to you. You work on. That's how the audit works. You will not have time. Professional auditors, they will come with their right questions. And you will, I will what not. 10 non-conformities. I will write it. And you will say, this is what you said. What? Got it? Yeah. So that's the biggest advantage. Don't define what you cannot measure. Define what you can measure. Really, not required. I see the point here is very clear, my friend. If organization is sizable, okay, and you have a really good organization, they have a budget, they have people, resources, you will obviously go ahead with defining policy. Similar to that, I have a process. Can you see the left hand side? Okay, these are the any process which you are defining can be like incident management, problem management, change management, or I have taken out of IT some of the processes like supplier, employee selection. There are many other, right? Risk management process where I have a risk assessment and treatment process. What we have. My process structure should be same, which is defined left hand side. Okay, this is not an ITIL training. I would have gone ahead, taught to you all this. What is the policy? What is the process? How to define that? But I have given it to you as your advantage. My dear friend, what auditor will do in this, whenever you have a policy defined, and these are policies under the scope of your ISMS, and there are various processes as a part of departments under the scope of ISMS. As an auditor, right hand side, you can see here very clearly mentioned that organization shall define whatever policies are defined. You will verify whether the policies are defined. What you said, are all policies approved? Is it the approved by top management? Now, who's top management? You are saying. You have to have a clarity about what they have defined. So we see, I'm being very transparent to you on words. Managing director, CEO, or there a committee, absolutely fine. What whom they have given rights for approving policy. Is it published? Where? Intranet maybe. You have a shared drive. I'm okay with that. Communicated to employees or not? Oh, we have information security policy, but not communicated. Big blunder. Then I have reviewed. The policy should be reviewed on a periodic basis, right? That is what I said. That is what we said. You remember? Revision history you have. Okay? All said. I would like to hear from the participants if you have any questions. I'm showing all the slides of what
This policy interface, is that the sum up of all the above mentioned, or this is something different?
Vikalp.
Yes.
Are you asking about what is policy interface?
Yes, I am like confused. Like, is it the sum up of all the summary, revision, purpose, objectives, like mentioned in the policy, or is it a different thing from
No.
all
See,
the?
example. What it is saying, I'll give a simple example for you to understand. Let's take example, interfaces. Okay, we will say we have Vikalp. Vikalp, what's your last name?
It's Maheshwari.
Sorry,
Maheshwari.
Vikalp Maheshwari, right? Huh? Vikalp?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Vikalp Maheshwari, I will take a name. I will say, what is interfaces of Vikalp Maheshwari? That his PII, example, personally identifiable information, his education. Vikalp Maheshwari's interface is his parents, his friends, his college, his, we can say, the address, his date of birth, his, we can say that the choices, what he is buying. Vikalp Maheshwari's interface can be the location, country. All these are the interfaces. Now, why do we need it? To know who's Vikalp Maheshwari. Do you agree? Exact Vikalp Maheshwari, if I have to identify, I will know. But when I say that the interfaces, when I'm talking about policy now, for example, information security policy, I need to see how this policy is linked with what all policies directly. I hope you're getting my point. Directly.
Okay.
Now, the policy interfaces is required, okay, when you have the right systems in place and your organization is well aware of the justification behind this interface. Interface is like what are linked policies, associated policies with this policy. That is the meaning. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Similar to this, I'll go ahead with the process. Example, you have incident management process. That for that you need to understand ITIL, my dear. Example, incident management process. Service request management is very much related with this process. Change management is related. Problem management is related. Someone says financial management. Someone says portfolio management. Someone says the catalog management. Someone says release management. Configuration management. I can go endlessly adding process interfaces. But will I be able to measure that interface? No, I will not. However, incident leading to problem, I can measure. Changes leading to incident, I can measure. Or incident leading to change, I can measure. Event management and the incident management, I can easily measure. I can showcase. But I cannot showcase any other. So that's the reason. Yeah, I have marked it red. We should not be discussing on that. We have, this is to keep in mind, process or a policy interfaces are defined to showcase the what all linked processes or policies are there. That is really important. But only this is possible where you have right tools and process. The people are matured how to utilize that. Otherwise, it is going to become a blunder. On that note, I think we will stop. Okay. We'll take one more word here: conformity and compliance. Conformity with respect to standard. Organization meeting conformity, sorry, the requirements. We will come back and show you now what do you mean by requirement. And we have a compliance. Okay, I will show you. Or rather, I will take a minute. Compliance is with respect to legal, regulatory, contractual requirement. Example, you have a client. I'll take a Vikalp's example. Vikalp is a, for example, advocate. Okay, cyber security advocate. He agreed to a bank that he will give one policy defined for cyber security practices. Okay, in 15 days. Vikalp, So you have a SLA of 15 days. Do you agree with me? You have to meet that SLA of 15 days. Is that clear? Is that clear? If you do not meet that, you have to pay a penalty. You have to legally give maybe 10%, 15%, 20%. Client will deduct out of your maybe. For example, they are paying you $10,000. They will deduct 20% if you do not deliver in 30 days, 30 to 40 days. If you deliver it 40 to 50 days, they will be deducting you 50% as a penalty. And anything after that, contract termination, and you will have to pay them 100% of the amount. You're getting my point? So that is a contractual agreement. So this is a legal agreement. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All set. Okay. Allow me 2 minutes. I will open the standard copies and I'll show you the reference of all that. So as you all are clear, okay, what we have discussed so far. I will open ISO 27000 first. Okay. I will open ISO 27000. I did say ISO IC. Do you remember that? Okay. And I said that information security management system overview and vocabulary. Can you see this? Yeah. Now, if you go here, left hand side, you have all information about this standard. Is that clear? Yeah. I will just show you something. Have a look at this terms and definition. Can you see this? Access control, attack. We have seen some of them. Whatever is important for us, we have taken it. We cannot go and we are yet to learn audit scope and all. We will do it next week. Availability, confidentiality. We have learned that, right? Now, glossary. What is ISMS? Information Security Management System? Establish, implement, maintain, improve, what not. Okay. What is ISMS? You have all together. Okay. Now protecting assets through defining, achieving, maintaining, and improving information security effectively. Now you have all, we have a principles. We are yet to learn about that. I will stop on that. I will move ahead with ISO 27001. Now there is a reason I'm opening ISO 27001 2013. I'm showing you 2013. Why? I said that ISO 27001, first of all, you understand information security management system requirements. Is that clear? You have a requirements file. What do you mean by requirement? What do you mean by requirement? No. Can you see this? Shall indicates a requirement. Is that clear? Shall indicates a requirement. Now, out of what? The clauses. Okay, out of what? Clauses. What clauses are there? The 10 clauses, I said. 1 to 10, right? Scope, normative, reference, terms, condition, that is not required. I'll come back. I said 4 to 10 are essential. You cannot exclude. Where it is written, can you see here? Siddharth, can you read that? Siddharth?
Sure. Yes. Excluding any of the requirements specified in clauses 4 to 10 is not acceptable when the organization claims conformity to this international standard.
Is that clear?
Yes.
The meaning to that here is, now where are the requirements defined? In clauses 4 to 10. Is that clear? Now I'll show you what do you mean by organization shall. Okay. What did I say here? Shall indicates a requirement. I hope everyone is now on the same page. Vikal, are you on the same page?
Yes, very much.
No. You cannot exclude wherever it requires defined in ISO 27001. Clear? Wherever written organization shall, you cannot exclude. Similar to this, you can see here. I'm just marking. Is that clear? I'm just marking organization shall. They have to show the evidence of management shall. Can you see this? These are all mandatory requirements. These are all mandatory requirements. Based on this, I'll go back and show you. I'll come to page number 42. Do you recall? I said some organization may have 25, 50 or 200 documents. Can you see this? And that time I said, there may be bare minimum requirements. Requirements when I use the word shall. Everyone clear? You may have bare minimum policies, or you may have policies which are more in number that the organization have defined for the effectiveness of ISMS. Wonderful. I am sure all of you are in sync now. The ISO 27000 and 27000 and 27001, where we have a requirements defined. What requirements are there? These requirements are defined as a part of, can you see this? It is clearly indicates, including any of the requirements specified in 4 to 10 is not acceptable when organization claims the conformity to international standard. That you are deciding that you have implemented or you are decided to implement and you have implemented ISMS and you are going for audit. Auditor will ask you all these clauses and conformity with respect to that, and how to come and test the conformity, what is there in the standard. We are supposed to learn with each of these statements. You are supposed to learn each of the statement. There is a detailed meaning of the statement, and I have, because textual will not have any sense to you. If I say 4.1, understanding the organization and its context, it says the organization shall define internal and external issues, okay, relevant to the, of course, achievement of your ISMS. That is what it says. What will you make sense out of? I have prepared my own slides on that. What is the real meaning out of this statement? Okay. Anyways, the standard copies are there with you. It is already there. Okay, it is there in the standards folder. Okay. Now coming back, not to test, it is there. Now coming back, we will get into the next part of it. We will open ISO 27000 to 2022 standard. Okay. Now here you go. This standard I said information security, cyber security, and privacy protection. For what? Information security. Out of that, there are information we will be. What is the standard is for? Controls. The guidelines on how the security controls are defined, and we will be learning that. Is that okay? We will be learning that. And I said organization controls, right? Yes or no? There are 37 controls. I said that. Yes or no? I will go back and show you. Do you remember? Yeah, there are 4 themes. Yeah, we learned that. Can you see this? Yeah, can you see this? Organization controls. There are total 37 controls are there. We are only introducing. You will understand, learn. People controls. You have 8. Can you see this? 8. Okay. Physical control, 14. Okay. Okay. And technological control, you have 34. Is that okay? Total, how many controls? 93 controls. Is that okay? Out of which 11 new controls are there. I will show you that as well. I will show you that as well. Which new controls have I? The new controls, those who were certified on 2013, for them it matters. For those who are fresh and they are running ISO 27/2022, for them it is 11 new or old. Ultimately, you have 93 controls. Is that okay? Is that okay? Oh, for you, all 93 is there. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. Okay. I think we have just gone through the introduction of 27,001 and 2. Satya, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond. We will understand how these controls are defined. What do you mean by control type, information security properties, okay, cyber security concept, operational capabilities, security domains. We will understand, we will get into that tomorrow. Our objective is to learn the ISO 27001 clauses first and then controls. Okay. As we understand clauses, thank you, Satya. As we understand clauses, we will be able to understand controls also very effectively. You will provide important questions for 100%, Satya. I will be doing that. Rest assured about it. You are most welcome. Sure. Okay, let me finish this. Now, you have one more standard, ISO 19011. Okay, and I said ISO, not IC. Do you remember? Barring the others, this is prepared by ISO and maintained by ISO. You cannot do all that. So why and all, we'll have to go and write a mail to them. Yeah. Coming back, guidelines for auditing management system. Now, when I say management system, Ibrahim, when I say management system, any of these systems, what we spoke about, okay, any of this management system can be for business continuity, for information security, for quality, or for the IT asset management, any of this. You will be using the standard when you are auditing the management system. Is that clear? There I said you have an audit program, audit plan. Why is the version mentioned? Is that the question?
No, this is 2018 to Is it how we can find it?
You can Google. Simplest way. Or you have to go to iso.org. You have to go to iso.org. You can certainly. If you wish to have any of this version update, you can buy. You will have to pay 150 USD. Okay, and you have to buy that. That is payable. Each standard, ISO says not for profit organization, but every person who downloads the soft copy of the standard, they will charge you only $150, not for profit. They say not for profit, not for. You download the standard, you pay $150 only. For them, it's $150 only. And throughout the world, we are seeing 3,000 organizations annually. We said 3,000 organizations, only for 27,000 get certified. 22,300 different, 9,001 different, 14,000 different. Yeah, 9,001 in general. I'll tell you, in India, approximately 25,000 to 30,000 organizations get certified annually. New. Onboarded. And in China, the rate was 55,000 organizations get certified annually, new. No, I do not want to say anything about that. Okay. But I hope we are clear on what we have as the standards. We have used this and we will reference purpose. We'll come back to on and off. Okay, to 20. We will be focusing more now on 4. Okay, that is clause 4.1, and that is the 4th clause and 5th clause. We are going to cover today. Okay, and we will be stopping for the day. Tomorrow we will come back. I will show you the index. We will have a context of the organization. leadership we are going to cover today. And we will identify the requirements out of that, international standard requirements out of that. As I promised you initially, that you, as you go through this entire session, you will be able to identify international standard requirements. I said that. Okay. You do not need to Google or ChatGPT. I did say that, and I will stick to my cover. That is one. Once we are done with this, tomorrow we'll come to the remaining sections. Planning. You have the support, operation, performance evaluation, and improvement. And I will also show you the latest standard changes. Okay, buying for some minor changes, I do not find it worth. Will be, of course, we'll have it for sure. Okay, whenever I will have the updated entire standard copy, I'll share the training as a training. Is that okay? Now, I'll come back and show you what we have changes to the ISO 27000:2022. Now, I'll just let it open. Okay. Now, the wording, what you have: information security, cyber security, and privacy protection. Earlier version, you had wording is information technology, security techniques, information security management system requirements. Now, the wording what you have is sorry, altogether information security, cyber security, and privacy protection for information security management system requirement. This is a requirement set. It is information technology was there. Now it is security, cyber security, privacy. Clear? Now, next, the word is changed. Yeah, number of pages or so. Now is 19. Earlier you had. See the great changes. I will only highlight the changes. Out of this 4.2, which is this 4.2. Okay, I'll show you that. Clauses 4.2. Can you see this? 4.2. There were two statements. Now they have added how to achieve, what requirements will be achieved out of this 4.2. Okay, here you go. Which of these requirements will be addressed through the information security system? Fantastic. So that's a great change. We'll show you minor changes that you have. Very minor changes. And it is already there with you as a copy of that. Okay. Satya, I'm sure Jayant has spoken to you. Okay. And you can have a direct dialogue with Jayant on that. Okay. I will, of course, it will not be right to discuss on that. All set. Okay. I will stop here. Okay. Let's take a quick break and come back